Hey, it's Nikki Howard here. I thought I would talk a bit about my journey on how I got to where I am today. Because so often when we want to be creative, people will see this and they will think, oh, but I can't paint like that. I'm no good. And I think this is a huge thing with painting and being an artist, is that we automatically judge ourselves. We sing in the shower, but we know we don't have to be professional singers. We dance at parties, but we don't say, oh, I'm no good. I can't be a professional dancer. We just dance. But painting, and I think because there's such a trace of it, we see it and we can judge it. It's there in front of us, whether there's dancing and singing aren't, unless somebody records us. It's a very raw part of our soul. And this is where we start judging. And so we don't always see what it took to get me to here and to where I am now. So I thought I'd take you on a little journey back in time to how I got to where I am. And that journey started, I think, when I was little, I was always surrounded by my mother's creative projects. There's always something going on for Christmas presents. One year it'd be padded coat hangers, another year it'd be pressed flower pictures, another year it would be covered boxes. There was always something going on. So I was always surrounded by artist materials. And my mother wanted to go into art school. She was stopped by her parents saying, there's no career in this, it's not a job, get a proper job. And I think I grew up with that belief as well. At school, I would sit next to a girl who drew so well and painted so well. And we often had this jealousy thing going on. She was envious about things in my life. I was envious for her for how she could paint and draw. And then obviously going through school, always comparing against other people who were, better than I was. And I always saw that if you did art studies, you could just be an artist. That was it. There was no other creative pathway apart from being an artist. And I could see no future in that. I thought, well, that's nothing. I just don't want to be an artist and that's it. And so I went down the science route and I went into being a biochemist. And during those studies, I remember at the tech college where I was studying at, the common room, which is where there was a bar or the bar and a cafeteria. The other side was the art college, and the people who used to walk through that door, I would so envy them. They would come out with blue hair and purple hair and wear really wacky clothes. And I remember one day a friend of mine took me into the art college, into her room, and I was like, oh my God, this is just so what I want to do. This is me. I can't do that, and walked out. And that was it. I was in the science. And that happened another time with a friend who was a ceramics student, took me in her ceramics studio, and I felt like I was home. It was so calling me, but I thought, this isn't me. I've not done my art studies. Get back into science. And so I went through about 10 years of working in science labs, which was great, because it taught me so much about myself, and it certainly taught me what I don't want to be. And it was so opposite to who I am, but I did it. And I think that there was a massive gap. Well, I didn't do anything creative at all. And it wasn't until probably near the end of my marriage in 2008 that I started running creative workshops because I wanted to get creative. I just started painting. And this is my first painting up there. And you see how it's very closed, it's linear, everything is cut in compartments. It's very like scientific in a way. So that was one of my very, very first paintings, completely different to these down here. And so I wanted to be with us and create. So I started setting up these workshops where I would hold a project for that week. Like one would be Decoupage, or the week would be acrylics, and we would just paint together or create together and polymer clay and all the rest of it. Just holding space for people to develop their own creativity. And that's what happened. They just found things they absolutely loved and just started off on their own creative route. And then I think there was a kind of a pause there as my marriage obviously went down, got divorced. Then I started my Reiki journey, and it was probably after, looking back, I mean, I became a Reiki master in 2013, and I think it was probably after then, which is not by chance really, because for me, art and spirituality are very, very connected. It took me on a path of re-exploring my creativity, and I started painting, and I fell upon an artist called Flora Bowley, and she combined spirituality, yoga into her painting practice, and she often paints in layers. And it got to me because of her spiritual aspect and how I was thinking about combining Reiki into my art practice. She was combining her spirituality and then also this layering. I thought, wow, I need to try this. So I had a go. And it started being that when I was layering my art, layering the paints up, I could feel emotion coming up. And it was beginning to mirror my emotions on the paper. And something was happening. So I started testing this on different friends and running fun workshops and just seeing. And people had amazing shifts. Wow, that there's something. I'm absolutely sweating buckets here. It's 39 degrees and I'm in the attic, so it's very warm. And so I started running these workshops. Yeah, massive shifts were happening. So I thought that there was definitely something in this. And in 2016, I became an emotion code practitioner and qualified. And that really helped me take the deep dive into emotion. And I began to see the correlation with my work. And then in 2017, I joined doTERRA for the essential oils, again with this emotional aspect, and took a deep dive again into the emotions and the release through essential oils. And then somebody just made this throw-off remark for fun. Nikki, why don't you add some oils to your paint? I thought, oh, that's novel. I'll have a go at that. And so I added paint, and I'll pop in the video. I put the link into the video where I actually filmed that moment. And the shift was incredible because my style changed. I felt a deeper emotional connection, that there was something very, very deep happening. And that was really the base of intuitive expression that happened. And that was in 2018, I think. And so again, I continued this journey and running these workshops, now using essential oils into the paint with the layering. And the shifts were massive. It was so, so big. And I really began to see that there was huge power behind it. But at that time, that there was still part of me that really didn't believe in myself. I didn't have this confidence. And I didn't dare take it any further than that. It stayed very, very small. And it was only really when I moved in with my husband and my twin flame, my soulmate, that he actually woke me up to who I am. He helped me find me. And it was just one day that I put in an essential oil group about what I do with my artwork. And within a couple of hours, there was hundreds of comments. What is this? We need to know it. How? What? And they just want to know my painting process with essential oils. And I think I had about 500 comments in literally overnight. And I thought, what is this? I know I'd only just happened to put it in a group, and it just boomed. And I guess it's, that the perfect timing. And so from then, I created Intuitive Expression. That was really the birth of Intuitive Expression in March 2021. And I started running, I thought I better get a training course up. These people want to be trained. And I went straight on and created a facilitator workshop. I'd never done an online workshop ever in my life. I had no idea what to do. I had no idea what an intuitive expression facilitator was, but I knew that that's what I had to do. And so I just learned through the process. It was really, okay, this is what I got to do. Next step, next step, next step. And then I created this program, this 6-week program. And that, I think I'm now on, the 6th group that I've run. And I think I had about 20, 30 people per group. And it was just huge. And the transformations that were happening in people's lives over those 6 weeks had me in tears. I think after nearly every call that we had on a Sunday, a group call, I would literally be in tears after the call. I was so humbled and blessed by what was happening. And so that was really Intuitive Expression coming into full bloom. And that is basically it in a nutshell. And I kind of went away. I went back into language coaching, which is something that I'd done previously. And I began to see that art also had a huge impact in language learning. And I wanted to go down that route. I thought, no, that's very much my head. I can do that, but is it really what I want to do? No, it's not. It's really helping people to open up to their own creativity, to awaken this creator, because we're all creators. And I've been on that journey where I've judged myself, where I've not dared to express myself to who I am now. And so that's why that now, as me as a healing artist, I'm seeing how art really does heal. It opens up this creator within us, which gives us a tool to heal ourselves through art. And it's so powerful. It's so powerful. And it's just a lovely and fun way to do it, is to take that journey within through the art and see the colours play together and just allow us to express ourselves. Because, creativity, we do it since birth. You give a child a pen, a paintbrush, and they will paint without ever judging. And it's only when we get to school and the entourage around us that we start having the judgments about, what it is, what it means to paint. And that we only think there's only one way, like I did, that's to be an artist. And it's not. There's a whole other scope, that everything in our world was created. Everything you pick up, that a sheet of paper, a phone, an elastic band, whatever, it's all come from a creative thought. We have this all the time, and we're creating our life with these thoughts. So to awaken as creator is just hugely beneficial in your life, because at the first level, it just allows you this freedom of, on that paper, you can do what you want, and you can burn your demons, you can paint them out, you can make friends with yourself, you can take that journey deep into your soul, or you can just play with the colors and have fun. There's so many levels to do this on. But this is why as well that I've opened up the community of Arise, because it's really about awakening the creator within. Whether you want to be a full-blown artist, whether you're a full-blown artist, whether you want to just get creative and just, have fun with some paint and with colours, and just allow yourself to dare that. So to hold space while you step into your own creator, and then also to be able to create your life from that as well, because we are the artist of our life. And that, I think, just sums up who I am and what I do. It's becoming the artist of your life at every level. So there you go. Just a quick journey into my soul. I'm sweating bucket here, so I'm going to sign off because it's just so hot. I shall pop in the links in the description. If you'd like to know any more about me, and especially about Arise as well, you can hop over to my website, nikkihoward.com. There's a bit about Intuitive Expression on there and so much more. I look forward to seeing you and awakening your artist within.